Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video will be a 2v2 battle on MP Crossroads. I'll be leading the forces of the Empire, and my my ally, Rider of Rohan, will be leading the forces of the Wood Elves. For our opponents, we have QR, who's leading the Dwarves, and Horst, who is leading the forces of Bordeloo. And yeah, we played 2 games, and yeah, they were definitely all fun ones for sure. But yeah, for my forces, I'm going a front line of three spear sorry three swordsmen, 1 unit of Sigmar Sons included in that. We have 2 spearmen, uh, 3 units of Empire Knights, an unshielded spearman protecting these 2 great cannons. I have Karl Franz in the air and a Jade Wizard to kind of heal knights and Karl. And we have a unit of Silver Bullets that are really good at just kind of like peppering down highly armored targets. But I do have 2 units of Outriders that are kind of just cruising on the left flank. These guys, Outriders with grenade launchers, sorry, and a unit of Empire Knights that is protecting them. So yeah, but yeah, you see something sneaky over here that we did not see. But for the forces of Rider of Rohan, he has 2 units of War Dancers, anti-infantry, really good. 1 unit of Glade Guard. He has 4 units of Hawk Riders, a Glade Lord bringing Eyes of Kronos. No, no. The man. Why can't I forget? Gosh dang it. Arrow of Kronos, and of course Priya of Anathrema. He has 2 Waystalkers to snipe artillery, along with the Glade Lord. But he does have 3 units of Glade Riders with Hagbane tips, I believe. Yes, he does. And yeah, that rounds off the forces of me and my ally. But yeah, over here for the forces of the Dawi, led by QR, we have a front line of mass miners with blasting charges. We have a couple units of Longbeards, I believe. So let me see if they're all okay. So it's 1 unit of Longbeards, 5 units of Dwarf Warriors, and a bunch of Quarrelers with great weapons. And there's another unit, so 2 units of Longbeards, and we have 1 cannon, I believe. No, 2 cannons, sorry. But yeah, that rounds off their forces. And then their general is going to be Belagar Ironhammer. They also have 2 gyrocopters with brimstone guns on the left flank, and a sneaky unit of Ulfar's Raiders. So these guys are hidden. We don't see them. We don't know where they are. We didn't even know they were there. But yeah. But for the forces of Bretonnia, or Bordeloo, led by Horst, he has a front line of 4 peasants. He has a Grail Reliquae. He has about 2 spearmen. I think they're 2 shielded spearmen. And a archer corps of 1 archer, I believe. 1 peasant bowman, fire arrows. He has more spearmen at arms and 2 halberds, along with 2 units of blessed field trebuchets. Over here, he does have a paladin in the skies, along with Albrecht de Bordeloo, bringing all his buffs and everything, and even the trident. He does have the guardian ability on the paladin, so that's going to be giving him 15 plus physical resistance. He also has 2 Pegasus Knights to round off his force. But yeah, let's get right into it. And basically, Rider of Rohan and our strategy was kind of like just get over here, kind of put pressure on them, and just do as much damage with our skirmishing forces, and then go in for the kill. But we're outnumbered in infantry wise, so it's going to be hard for us to kind of get a crack in here and just kind of like do our thing. But yeah. Um, we do have this battle that will begin on this side. Red Rohan is getting in position. I see this like huge ball of forces, and I move Carl over to kind of support this engagement because the dragon cannot do it by itself. Either can all of these things. It's going to be definitely hard, especially with all these anti-large components. Um, but yeah, we're going to start moving just a little bit up so my cannons can kind of just get in range and start bombarding theirs. We do have the grenade launchers that are shifting over to the left side, kind of putting a little bit of pressure on them. I was just kind of floating over here. But yeah, I'm going to start getting some shots off into these peasants. Uh, Probably not the best idea. I mean, that's all I could really shoot at, just because of the fact that the quarrelers would kind of turn around if I got close to them and just like shoot me down, which would suck. But the Bretonnian Air Force is moving over, and look at all that damage. Um, the, their grenade launchers are just so good at shaft clearing. Can't speak right now, sorry, it's a little late for me, but we do have the Glade Riders who are shooting into these gyro bombers, doing quite a bit of damage, just kind of staying in the air with Carl here, and our formations are going to move up. This Empire Unite unit kind of got a little bit of got a case of wrecked, and yeah, that was not good for him. But yeah, I'm gonna keep firing into these peasants. Give them one more volley, and I mean, that's kind of free damage, and we're just kind of softening them up. This is the whole point of grenade launchers, kind of soften them up, do as much damage to skirmishers and whatnot. But we do have one of the gyrocopters breaking, along with one unit of Glade Riders who are getting kind of pummeled by everything right now, and I'm kind of playing Carl a little too aggressive. It's not an engagement I want to take, but here me and Ryder Rohan are discussing, like, should we take this engagement, and is it a good idea? And I was like, all right, yeah, I think we should. Possibly, maybe when they come around again, we can see if we can isolate something, because that's the whole point. We want to isolate something, goon up on it, and just like destroy it. So you want to kind of make sure something's just like away from its its whole group, and then you go for the kill. That's a very good tactic, and it benefits you a lot. But here I'm gonna move up with the Glade, not the Glade Riders, but the Hawk Riders. I do have my Outriders kind of shifting over the back rear flank. I have these Empire Knights kind of shifting back here to help out, and the front line engagement will begin somewhat soon as my front line and the War Dancers move forward. I'm just gonna try and get into combat. I can't. It's gonna be hard to avoid these miners for sure, but we'll see. These Glade Riders and Hawk Riders are doing a pretty good job of melting these guys. They're kind of just focusing fire on them constantly, which is good for us. And I do get another volley off, and that does a ton of damage. Kills quite a bit of peasant spearmen at arms, but yeah. We do have some cannons going down just due to the constant cannon fire from mine that haven't lost a model, which is good for me. I'll definitely take that. But here's a frontline engagement, and I'm going to kind of charge into blasting charges, which is a bad idea for sure. Try and avoid them and get like a side charge into something, but yeah, I was just kind of throwing my infantry away at this point, and I kind of misused them. But I mean, mistakes are mistakes, right? And you learn from them. But yeah, the Sigmar Sons paid for it. Everything kind of paid for it. And yeah, these miners with blasting charges did absolute work here, and it sucks for me, especially. But I mean, we still have a bunch of supporting units. I mean, we have the War Dancers that are still alive, and yeah, I do get a charge off here, but they do pop a marked by Ulthor, so minus 30 armor, and that's gonna like destroy them. Minus 22% missile resist and 24 missile parry, which is melee defense. So yeah, that's gonna kind of hurt me a lot, especially if they get a volley on as well. But yeah, I'm gonna see this, and I'm kind of like just stay back, let the Glade Guard kind of shoot in, and then I'm gonna send a unit of spearmen to go try and deal with them. But yeah, they're gonna charge in here. But over here, we do have an engagement with Carl and the Hawk Riders, and I kind of get isolated from here, and Carl gets pretty isolated. And this is a very bad engagement from like, alright, everyone, please save me, please. Like, just try and block him off or something. And he does try and get a sneaky trident here. Isn't able to kill anything, but yeah. And Carl's kind of getting gooned right now. He pops Galmarize and right the roofing, so that's gonna help a little bit. And we do have the Grail Relic Way, who's actually getting just sniped at this point in the battle, and yeah, and there it goes, trying to lessen their leadership, so the peasants don't stick around as as long as they should be. But Carl's getting absolutely destroyed right now, but we are killing a bunch of Pegasus Knights. And yeah, it's a good trade for Ish. And I'm like, Red of Rohan, just get the crap out of there. Just dip with the generals. Use Hawk Riders to kind of like screen them out. But yeah, Albrecht really wants to get Carl, and this is a big shout out to Rider of Rohan. He did a great job of just like kind of blocking Albrecht in, saving Carl's life. But Glador is getting pretty low as well. I'm pulling Carl over to kind of get him near the Jade Wizard to put a fat regrowth on him, and yeah, but the Glade Lord is gonna route, and this sucks for us. He sacrificed his Glade Lord, and now the Glade Lord is kind of getting wrecked. And that is a big fat L. And I mean, I couldn't really heal the Glade Lord, which sucks, because I had to use it on Carl, which is probably worth it, I guess. But it sucks that one of our generals is already down. But yeah, I'm gonna get a fat regrowth on Carl overcasted, of course, and that basically heals him up back to full HP. We're gonna send him back over here, and we're gonna send him to go duel Alabric and the Paladin, because we're not letting that slide. We're not letting the Glade Lord get killed. We're not letting that slide whatsoever. But the Glade Lord does come back, and he is able to micro it, but yeah, it's gonna be definitely tough, especially with Albrecht being so much faster. And yeah, the Glade Lord is gonna go right off the battlefield, just due to the Paladin chasing her off. But I'm sending Carl back over. He's getting over here as quickly as possible. Frontline engagement is so terrible for us. Yeah, it's not looking good for us whatsoever. But this guy is doing somewhat good for us. But the Hawk Riders actually kill Alberic, which is pretty funny. They did a big play in today's match. And then we have Carl, who's going to kind of come over here and try and intercept this Paladin, or just try and tear out him, whatever is good for me. But yeah, he's gonna do his work. But over here we do have the grenade launchers, who are just kind of like sitting back and just shooting at everything. Empire Knights are kind of used as like a unit to just try and break front lines, route off units. But my cannon does get a little ahead of itself, and decides to pull up pretty close, and silver bolts are kind of in trouble right now. This cannon's kind of getting untouched, which is good for me. I mean, cannon, if you're gonna go for my silver bullets, fine by me. At least you ignore my great cannon that's just gonna shoot at your lord all day. But we do have the Paladin, who is gonna get chased off by Carl, and yeah, the Brett Air Force is completely wasted and gone, which is really good for us. And now we don't have to deal with anything in the air. But yeah, the Blade Riders have been kind of almost dealt with here, and silver bullets are kind of running away, just kind of hiding, running, doing my best to like bring them into spears that are trying to intercept. But they do catch up to my silver bullets, and it's gonna be the end of these guys as they commit to melee and then route, which sucks. But now we're trying to we broke this left side, and we're kind of running in here. We're just going ham. Me and Ryder of Rohan are discussing. We're like, okay, I'm just gonna push hard on the left side and just destroy everything I can. And yeah, these Outriders with grenade launchers are doing really well. One's up to 28 kills, and the other one's up to 73. So they're paying for themselves really well here, and yeah, they're doing just a phenomenal job of skirmishing down enemy units. A little bit of a misplay by the Rider of Rohan. I don't think he should have committed these Hawk Riders and Blade Riders. I mean, they're probably going to come back, but you should probably take a better engagement, kind of like kite back with them and just see if you can get on vulnerable units. And yeah, I accidentally mismicro my Outriders, which is a big misplay by me, because there goes the units right there that could help me win this help us win this battle. But I send a unit of swordsmen, 31 of them, just to kind of like block the retreat and give them time to run away. And we do have the cannon, who is just still focusing Belagar and doing quite a bit of damage. Carl is still alive, and he's coming over here. I'm trying to see if I can get a vulnerable pick. I see Belagar just kind of sitting here, but yeah, we're not going to take that engagement quite yet. I do have a full unit of spearmen 2 units of spearmen and a jade wizard that are kind of gonna go in as like a second wave type um, unit as type play, I guess. They're gonna be like our final wave of infantry because this is basically all our infantry that's left on the battlefield. We just have Carl and 2 grenade launchers, which sucks for us because Beligar's still alive. So this is not going in the favor for us whatsoever, and these spearmen are gonna come up clutch. They're gonna have to kill and just like hold for quite a bit for us to win this. But we do have the grenade launcher shooting in, and a good charge from the Empire Knights into the backs of these dwarf warriors, doing quite a bit of damage. But yeah, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to kind of like move up your units so they're exposed to cav charges and isolation, which is definitely bad. But Carl is not at his healing cap quite yet. He's very close to though, and Rider of Rohan doing a great job of chasing off these Pegasus Knights and routing units. But right now I'm kind of shifting over. My spearmen are taking quite a bit of shots, and they're unshielded, so they're gonna die quickly. But yeah, at this point I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna charge them in. I'm gonna see if I can pick off Beligar. I was like, Red Rohan, I'm going in for Beligar. Like, this dude is going down. And yeah, this is where the isolation begins. Pop all his buffs and kind of go to town at this point. And while that's happening, I charge in my spearmen. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go in here and just finally commit and pressure them on both sides basically. And this is where I get a charge from my outriders with grenade launchers, and just to kind of like stop Beligar from attacking. And they actually block the arrows of Kurnost, which sucks. But Beligar does get terrified here and routes. And now it's down to the Damsel of Life. And right now, this is like probably it's a very good turning point here. And Beligar is just kind of getting just destroyed. He just got destroyed by Carl. And I mean, Carl is well prepared for that and can do it any time of the day. But we do have some gyrocopters that are still alive, which is interesting. I believe they got terrified and then decided to come back. But I still have my Jade Wizard, which is really good for me, but the Spearmen did not last as expected. Coiler's still with somewhat of ammo left. Yeah, not too much, but some ammo. My Outriders do get broken here, which sucks because I was trying to get the Trebuchet crew, and yeah, it didn't work out well. But yeah, Carl's gonna duel these gyros and knocks one out of the air, and then he's gonna go in for another hit, knocks the other one, and yeah, these guys are gone out of here. We do have another spearman unit returning, so I mean that's good for me. I can just try and use them as a little bit of kind of bait. But Beligar does come back, which sucks because we need to finish him off to give us a leadership advantage. Since we have lost one of our lords, we want to kind of just kill all the lords and then focus the damsel. That was our plan here. And as you can see, I'm just kind of firing shots into peasants, which is not the best idea, and this is not a good engagement. Need to run the heck out of there, but they do break, which sucks. Now he's gonna pull his damsel off, which is a little bit of a mistake. I can't really say it's a mistake, but like just because these guys can come back and just like kind of win various blob fight engagements, and they do come back, and now they're going to be able to kind of shoot back. So this is me and Ryder of Rohan's plan. He was like, all right, I'm going to make them blob up with all their infantry and whatnot on these 2 waystalkers, and then you come over with whatever you have left of your outriders with grenade launchers and just focus the bomb, because these guys do a lot of damage, even if you have like little numbers. And this is where I try and pick off Beligar and I succeed. And I was like, all right, I'm running the heck out of here. It was kind of a hit and run, so I just dove down, literally one-shot him. One-shot meaning just like dove and then killed him. And then now right here we're gonna be like, okay, come tear out this little box with me, and basically isolate them. Like I said, isolation is just the key to winning. We don't have all single entities left, so I mean we can still cycle charge, and this is where we tear out them and basically fall back up into the air. Waystalkers try and run away, and that's our strategy. Kind of like pick and run, just isolate. Our next target will be the damsel. We're gonna try to isolate that damsel and pick a good engagement, force her into a bad one. And we do have shots coming into these spearmen here. Jade Wizard is getting a little focused, but the man will be fine. He's kind of kicking butt right now. Uh, but yeah, Carl dives in. We go in for the damsel. We're like, okay, this is damsel death day, and we do kind of like push her away from the big engagement over here, somewhat, and we do get her to rout. And this is big for us because now they're gonna have barely any. They're gonna not have as much leadership as us per se, just because we have a lord and the leadership effect is still strong with us. And what I'm going to do here is kind of send Carl to chase her off just a little bit. I'm going to need him back to kind of help this engagement. I do realize that my Outriders with grenade launchers do come back with A models, and look at this blob. If we had a burning head or something, it would be so nice. It would just be so nice. But we do have the Outriders with grenade launchers, and these guys are... Oh, you already know what they're going to do. They're gonna make sure that this Bob pays for what they did. And I do have a routing spearman unit coming back once again, that same unit. And I'm gonna try to get a better angle with these outriders and kind of run away and kite away from these quarrelers. We do get some good shots, and he clips one of my outriders and kills one. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of run away, keep running, and then just shoot. This blob is going to be hard to kill for sure, and my Jade Wizard kind of gets caught out for just a second. The blob is getting a grenade launcher to death, and we do get a mass terror out on these dwarves. And yeah, the grenade launchers are just shooting in and kind of wrecking everything. And that's just what they're meant for. They're just meant to play in big blob engagements, use their grenades, and just kind of like do a bunch of splash damage. And here's where we get spearmen to kind of come in here and try and help. I do pop all his buffs because like it's the last kind of fight for us. But we do get Longbeards. Like here comes some Empire State troops. Are like, for Sigmar, like they're like the last troops left. They kind of like regain their courage to come out and fight. And I mean, they're gonna stay here for a little bit, and I mean, their leadership is gonna crumble, and they're gonna kind of dip. But I do pop a Earthblood, and that's gonna kind of sustain these Waystalkers and well, whatnot. But yeah, my Outriders are still alive. But they have barely any ammo, so they're not gonna be too useful anymore to like kind of kill blobs. So I'm gonna pull Carl out and kind of cycle charge. That's my idea, and that's me and Rabbit Frohan's idea. The QR and Horse are playing it kind of well. I mean, they are blobbing up, which is a very bad idea when you have Outriders with grenade launchers, because they make you pay for blobbing, like I said. You're going to blob up, grenade launchers just throw a volley into you, and you lose quite a bit of men. But you want to know how many kills these guys have? 161. 161 kills with the grenade launchers, and this is where I just charge in with Carl and the grenade launchers, and this is like the last two raw kind of battle here, but we are going to continue cycle charging with Carl. But these guys are taking lots of damage, and we get a huge fat terror rout. A bunch of units shatter, a bunch of units routes, and I kind of pull Carl out again, and now I'm going to charge in once more and kind of finish off the terror routes. And yeah, we're kind of running in with Outriders as well. We're just going to try to keep cycle charging, which is the best idea. We still have a unit of Outriders, so we can't. And a unit of Glade Guard, which just came back, which is pretty nice for us. And yeah, we're kind of talking right now. We're like, okay, just keep cycle charging, constantly cycle charge with Carl. And I was like, all right, let's just keep doing that. And I mean, it's working really well. We just routed off like what 5, 7 units, 5, 6, 7 units. If Jade Wizard does come back, which is good for us again. Now we can just put more heals onto these Waystalkers. Carl is at his healing cap, so he's not going to receive any more healing, so I didn't decide to heal him. But yeah, here we go, and we're going to get into another charge somewhat soon. Glade Guard do charge in. They're going to get absolutely destroyed by Longbeards. It's just what happens. And what I'm going to do is kind of charge into these quarrelers, break them off, and basically fill the whole isolation role. You want to isolate units and pick them off, and that's what I'm going to do with Carl. He does get up in the air and gets another dive charge, and that's going to tear out the whole Bretonnian forces. They're done with. Bretonnia is not coming back, and they surrender. So it was actually a really good game. Uh, Shout out to Ryder, Rohan, QR, and Horst. Uh, Thank you so much for the games. It was literally probably some of the most fun things I've ever had. But um, yeah, Carl showing he's a real MVP always. Frontline kind of got crumped, and I mean their state troops are not going to do much for Stawi. It's a very bad matchup for Empire. I feel like I did good for what all these guys did. Empire Knights did absolutely great. 31, 51, 117, and grenade launchers are probably MVP. They did 30, 165. Cannons did great, 52, 11. This one not too good, but this one did great as well. Just Jade Wizard killing 14. That's absolutely amazing. And yeah, Rider of Rohan. Look how many kills he's got stacked up on the kills. War Dancer did amazing job, and Gladed Lord unluckily paid the price early on in the battle. Horst did a decent amount of work towards our Air Force, and we were able to kind of get Albrecht and Paladin isolated and able to kill them. QR did a great job with all his Quarlers and cannons. Blasting charges did amazing. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys do want to get in these 2v2s, battles, tournaments, whatnot, Discord link is in the description. But yeah, join that to send me your replays and you'll get featured on the channel. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.